You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
So, Steve, did Ava Gardner and Howard Hughes have a good relationship?
Well, they did until he dislocated her jaw.
What?
Well, don't worry. She hit him back with an ashtray.
From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Matt and I will be your host today. Today we're going to have a very special 2-on-2 match. Let's first meet our returning players, Neil and Jeff. How's it going today, guys?
It's going well. Excited to be on a team with Jeff. I've never teamed with him other than our pub trivia nights, so this should be pretty fun because he knows most of the things that I don't know or care to know about. So I'm excited about that.
I'm right there with you. I'm waiting for Neil to clean up on all the movie questions that I have no idea. So hopefully this should go well.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch whose fault it is when you guys get one wrong. So on the other side of the table, we have Ken and Jason. How's it going today?
Hey, pretty good.
I'm doing all right. How you guys doing?
We are doing just fine. Jason, so you're our special guest today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and Liquid Courage Entertainment?
Oh, sure. My name is Jason. For those of you who didn't hear him say it twice, like 10 seconds ago, I own a mobile entertainment company in the Chicago area called Liquid Courage Entertainment, where we specialize in things like pub trivia and karaoke in a bar environment. In fact, that's how I met all these gentlemen, was through our pub trivia nights.
And might I say, usually we see you under cover of darkness, but here in the broad daylight, you're just as handsome.
Thank you. I was concerned about how
if not more,
in the harsh light of day. The day star is not always kind to me.
Well, we kept the dimmers out just in case.
I appreciate that.
So thanks for joining us today. So as always, let me break down the rules of the game. So Triviality is 20 questions in a variety of topics worth 10 points apiece and split into 2 rounds. At halftime, there will be a special swing round designed by me, where players can take a larger lead or gain some ground for a comeback. At the end of regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they have accumulated and will have the chance to wager 0 to 30 of those points on 5 questions based on their confidence of the final round categories. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
On balance, off balance, doesn't matter. I'm better than you are, yeah. I am the cream.
All right, everyone ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right, so the first question. This ancient scientific art was probably the college major of Rumpelstiltskin. One side looking very confident.
Jeff's writing too, so I think he knows what he's...
Are you guys in?
Yeah, we're in.
Yeah, feel free to talk it out.
What did he weave? Didn't he make the girl like weave gold or spin gold?
He was spinning gold. Yeah.
Spin gold. Okay, is that something like a skill that they could have studied, like spinning? You think?
I mean, you wrote. I mean, you guys are in, so we can just talk it out. But you wrote weaving, and I
think I wrote weaving because of Ken, and he kept talking about the Matrix. And I thought, like, you go weaving. I'm just busting Ken's balls.
So because he's turning things into gold, I said alchemy.
Okay.
Alchemy.
The answer is alchemy. So alchemy is the ancient art of changing one element into another. So that's he was spinning yarn into gold. Actually, a lot of what alchemy was about was trying to figure out a way to turn different chemicals into gold, and that eventually led to modern chemistry. So
If they only had spray paint when they had lead, it would have been so much easier.
all right, moving on to question 2. There are 2 American Idol contestants with more than 10 million records sold. Name them.
We're in.
Are you guys in? Okay.
Yeah, we're in.
So they're in.
So I'm really confident on the first one that I told you. The second one I'm a little less confident
So he
on
said
because
Carrie Underwood and Kelly Clarkson. I agree on Carrie Underwood 100%. There's also Clay Aiken was pretty successful. But the one I'm also thinking about is the guy who, I think his first name is Adam. I can't remember his second.
Adam Lambert.
Adam Lambert, yeah. He might be too.
Yeah, he wasn't as successful as Kelly Clarkson. You got to factor in the longevity. The other name I would have thrown out is Philip Phillips, but again, definitely Carrie Underwood.
Oh wait, what about that? What about that? The more rock guy.
Daughtry.
Daughtry. That's it. It's got to be Daughtry.
I still feel it's Kelly. Daughtry was crossover rock, and where Kelly was definitely like adult pop.
Okay, well, we'll go with you.
Okay.
Okay, so you're locked in. You guys locked in?
We are.
All right. Neil and Jeff, why don't you start us off?
So we pretty quickly locked in with what we thought was the right answer, and we went with Kelly Clarkson and Carrie Underwood.
Okay.
And then, of course, we went with Carrie Underwood and Kelly Clarkson as well.
All right. Well, they are both correct. Those are the two.
Nice. Thanks for talking me out of that, Jason.
Yeah, I think Daughtry actually is 3. The one album he had was very, very successful. None of the other contestants kind of really did much of anything.
Now, you said winners, right?
I did not say winners. I just said contestants.
No, he just said
And
contestants.
That's why I asked for the
Yeah.
confirmation.
Right,
I would have
'cause-
taken Daughtry and
Clay Aiken.
out.
Because Ruben stuttered
boy.
one. Yeah, he won that weird. We also wrote down, just in discussion, Fantasia Barrino, Bo Rice.
Bo Bice, yeah.
Bo Bice, sorry. Philip Phillips.
Yep.
There's a whole bunch. But I thought most of the end ones were way too new. And nowhere near as prolific. So.
Yeah, they don't sell that many. I mean, in general, people don't sell as many records as they did in 1998 and 2000.
Yeah, I will say I'm surprised that there's only the 2 that have reached 10 million.
All right, question 3. What NBA team relocated to Oklahoma City in 2009 after their caffeine mogul owner decided to sell the team to Oklahoma City businessman Clay Bennett?
Yeah, that's... are you guys good?
No.
Okay.
I mean, that's talking to Jeff. That's what they're called now. I think they were a team before that, though.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
I mean, maybe that's what he's asking then. I mean, they are the Thunder.
I mean, do you have any other guesses? I mean, do you know what they were before that?
Did you say caffeinated owner?
Caffeine mogul owner.
Caffeine mogul owner.
So, yeah, and I thought this was an easy question, so I'm really glad that there's a lot of conversation around
Great.
it.
Well, I don't know. What do you want to do? Because I know the team now is the Thunder, but I'm
Right.
thinking he's going for the original team.
That's fine.
You want to go Seattle Supersonics?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
All right, so you guys going Supersonics? Would you?
We also said Seattle Supersonics.
Seattle Supersonics is the correct answer. So Howard Schultz did own the team in 2009, and he sold to businessman Clay Bennett, who is from Oklahoma City, who promised to not move the team. And the first chance he got, he moved the team to Oklahoma City.
So I have a question about that. If I remember, that was 2009, you said? Mm-hmm. So I was working at Starbucks at that time. Didn't people get really pissed?
Yes, people are very. A lot of people in Seattle still blame Howard Schultz for them losing the team to this day.
Okay.
All right, heading into question 4, the score is 30-30. We got a perfect game going so far. I just thought I'd call that out. So, good luck for the rest of you
Maybe
guys.
first time ever being a little merciful on us.
Yeah. Well, maybe having 2 people kind of helps too.
Yeah,
so.
true.
According to the theme song, Leonardo leads, Michelangelo is a party dude, but what does Ninja Turtle Donatello do?
You said Leonardo leads. Mm-hmm. What's the other one?
Michelangelo is a party dude.
Okay, and there's no mention of Raphael, right?
Not in the question.
Okay, just making sure.
You guys can feel free to talk. We know the answer.
Okay, so I know the way the song goes, and I don't know if you remember this at all, and it's probably not going to help us, but oh man, I don't know. I can hear the song, I can't.
This was right up my alley.
So Michelangelo's a party dude. Leonardo leads. Raphael, I don't know. Donatello. I mean, he was the
Purple.
smart one, yeah.
Yeah.
It's my favorite Ninja Turtle growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Same.
It's interesting. I was a Michelangelo guy.
Because we're nerds.
I wrote Tishan into my fan fiction for Ninja Turtles. So.
The cool kids like Raphael, but me
Yeah.
and Matt, we were like,
Well, orange is my favorite color. That's why I like Michelangelo. So you have the alliteration. Leonardo leads. Is there Donatello? Is there any alliteration there?
And nothing's coming to me from that song. I mean, that when that show was on air, I was quite young still. I barely remember it.
All right. What do you want to put down? We just got to put something down, I guess, even though it's going to be wrong.
Dealers.
What's a good D word? Donatello what?
I can't even think of
We're
it.
going to go Donatello dick in the box.
All right. And what'd you guys go with?
machines.
All right. So Raphael is cool but rude. Mike is a party dude. Leonardo leads, and Donatello does machines. So Neil and Jeff will not go perfect in this game. All right, it's time for question 5, which we like to call our listener submitted question. If you have a good question that you'd like to send us to incorporate into the game, make sure to send us an email to trivialitypodcast@gmail.com. In the subject line, put question 5. We'll choose one question for each half. Next question. Set in the crime-riddled dystopian version of this city, Omni Consumer Products plans to fix the crime problem using robot crime fighters.
Looks like Jason knows what he's talking about. Yeah.
I'm 100% certain.
Good. So
Can we hear that again?
Yeah. Set in the crime-riddled dystopian version of this city, Omni Consumer Products plans to fix the crime problem using robot crime fighters.
Say no more, Jason.
Is it literally RoboCop?
Very little.
Oh, Omni? Oh,
Yeah.
so it's Detroit.
What's up?
RoboCop's in Detroit.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, go Detroit.
You guys going Detroit?
Yeah,
Can I
I'm
hear
trying to
the-
think. You said robot. Yeah. So if it's
Still,
Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay, and you
And
guys?
we also want Detroit.
And the answer is Detroit, from the movie RoboCop. So, moving on. Question 6. What is the term used for when a planet appears to be moving backwards in its orbit?
I'm not even going to talk. I'll just let Jeff write that answer.
Yep, that's what I was.
Yeah, we're
too.
good.
Yeah, we are
Okay.
good as well.
You guys first?
Said retrograde.
Retrograde.
The answer is retrograde. So retrograde isn't something that actually happens. It appears to be moving. It has to do with the speed at which you orbit around the planet. And once you reach a certain point, it actually looks like the other planet's moving backwards, even though you consistently orbit in the same direction.
Yeah, Venus.
Yeah, that's one of the more famous ones, and it's used in astronomy for nonsense purposes quite a bit.
I completely blacked out during that question.
I just know my wife is always a problem when Mercury's in retrograde.
Tell me about it, right? All right. Number 7. This sandwich named for a rock legend consists of peanut butter, banana, and bacon.
We're in.
We're good.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff.
Oh, I mean, and Neil had it, so I'm going to let him take it.
Elvis.
Okay.
Yeah, we also said Elvis.
And that is the Elvis Presley, which sounds delicious. But
I do peanut butter and banana sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't eat it on the toilet.
I was just going to say, does it have the requirement that you follow it up by dying on the toilet?
I mean, if you,
I would think it has to.
yeah,
So it's really like it's an event. You have to eat it, go on the toilet, and then die.
yeah.
It's a spiritual experience.
Yeah, right.
I mean, with peanut butter, banana, and bacon, you're gonna end up on the toilet at some point anyway. So.
Now I'm inspired to make a sandwich called the Elvis Costello, which won't have the peanut butter, but it also won't be on Saturday Night Live.
Question 8. This elemental nickname player is the only one to have played in the World Series and Super Bowl.
Did you say elemental nickname?
I did.
Okay, go ahead. Whatever sports is in my thing.
You're in?
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So he...
So I just wrote down Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson because I knew they
Yeah.
played both.
Do you know his nickname?
Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
He's the Showtime, or he has a couple nicknames. Everybody, Bo knows. Shoot. What are some elemental nicknames? You don't have to go through them all, but
No, I'm just trying to think of what it would be.
Neil talking these out is my new favorite thing.
talking what?
Talking it out. You need to have a teammate on every single game from now on.
Do you remember who Deion Sanders played for?
Yeah, Dallas Cowboys, and then he played for Cincinnati Reds. I don't think they're in the Super Bowl, or no, or
he-
World Series. Or is it someone on the Yankees? I mean, Bo Jackson was Raiders, and
It wasn't Bo Jackson. I
okay,
remember
so
for
Deion
sure.
Sanders is the only one I can think of who
It's not,
played in
it's
both.
not Bo Radon Jackson.
Yeah.
Bo Neodymium Jackson.
Bonio Jimmy.
Tom Potassium Brady.
I know it's not Bo Jackson. I know it's someone more recent. It was done...
Dion or Neon Dion.
Okay. If that's... I know I've heard who it is. I'm trying to place it. Deion Sanders feels right, but I can't remember with any certitude.
The only reason I just know Deion Sanders played in both, and I watched the game that he played when he was with the Cowboys, but I don't know about
The one
World
game
Series.
he played.
Yeah.
Let's just go. I think I've heard Neon Dion because he was like he was a big deal. I don't know. Just go.
That's fine.
Just want to go with that.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine.
Okay.
All right. So what are you guys going with?
Deion Sanders.
All right.
We also went with Deion Sanders.
And the answer is Deion Sanders. That is a nickname. You were correct.
All right.
He did play for the
Even
Reds.
though Neil just made it up.
Yeah.
It's still correct.
Yeah, someone should have came up with that earlier. It's so he played on the 92 Braves, and he was also on the 94 49ers, and then the next year he actually played for the Cowboys in 95.
Did he return a touchdown in that game?
In the Cowboys game, yeah.
Cowboys game, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
For the record, it wasn't Showtime as his other nickname.
It's
was
prime time.
Prime time. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, question 9. What type of angle has less than 90 degrees?
Or in.
I'm out. My hands are
We're
in the air.
good.
All right.
We wrote professional wrestler Kurt Angle. Okay, we wrote acute.
I misspelled it the first time I wrote it, but I also wrote acute.
Yes, it is acute. Obtuse is more than 90, and 90 being a right angle.
Let's chug some milk like Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Neil wanted no part of that question.
No, I put my hands up like that Neil deGrasse Tyson meme. So,
So question 10. On December 26, 1991, this country became the largest in the world by area.
Jeff's writing some stuff down. Oh, okay. You guys are in?
Yeah, we're in.
Good.
Is that because of the 91?
Fall of the Soviet Union.
Right. I don't know if I that's one of these other categories.
Do you need the full name?
I need the name that is listed on my answer sheet.
I mean, I'm fine with going with that. If you're confident, it came to you right away. So
I mean, so 91. It's the only thing I can think of time-wise. Also, it's the largest country by area, anyways. Canada would have already been pretty set. I'm trying to think of other things that might have had large territorial acquisitions. Nothing comes to mind in that time frame.
They do have a tape of me, and I have to say with this answer legally. So, so I'm fine with it. I have to say it. So
all right, I think if Neil has to say it, he can say it.
We went with Russia.
Okay.
Same over here.
The answer is Russia. That was the date that the USSR was officially dissolved and Russia took its place. So after round one, we have a pretty high-scoring game. It is 90 for Neil and Jeff and 100 for Ken and Jason. So,
All right.
So some high scores today. All right, it's time for our mid-round game, a game that I created. It's called Thank God It's Friday Night Lights. So the theme is going to be I will describe the plot of a show that mashes up a popular TGIF show and a TV show or movie. So, for example, John Ritter is shocked to find his little girl bringing home a bounty hunter to dinner. Quentin Tarantino guest directs.
8 Simple Rules. Hateful 8 Simple Rules to Date My Daughter.
Yes, that would be
Okay.
that would be the correct answer.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to write them all down, and then we'll go through the answers afterwards.
Okay.
So, number 1. On a school trip to Washington, D.C., DJ and Kimmy accidentally grabbed the luggage of Congressman Frank Underwood. All right, number 2. Balky gets lost in the upside-down world and confuses it with Meepos.
We're standing tall over here. Continue.
Channing Tatum guest stars as JT and Cody have to prepare for a dance competition after agreeing to help the Lambert girls at Frank's request. Archie Bunker is incredulous at being asked by his annoying neighbor if he has got any cheese. Corey and Topanga have to flee Philadelphia after learning that the worldwide virus has reached American shores. All right. After dying from eating a 6-month-old hamburger, Marty has to juggle helping his best friend navigate high school and influencing American League baseball games.
That's the last one, right?
Yep, that's the last one. And they are worth 5 points apiece. Calling it quits on it?
Yeah. All right, we'll just go with the 5. That's fine.
Okay. All right, so the answers are locked in. So what'd you guys both put for 1? We'll start with Neil and Jeff.
Full House of Cards.
Okay.
Same here.
Full House of Cards is correct. All right, number 2, starting with Ken.
We went with Perfect Stranger Things.
Perfect Stranger Things.
That is correct. All right, 3, starting with Neil.
Step by Step Up.
Step by Step Up.
That is correct. All right, Jason, what'd you get for 4?
Number 4, we went with All in the Family Matters.
Mm-hmm.
Same. All in the Family Matters.
That is correct. And Jeff, what about 5?
Boy Meets World War Z.
Okay.
Same here. Yeah.
That is correct. And you guys did not have an answer for number
No.
6, so looks like we'll have at least 1 miss from Neil and Jeff. And what did you guys have?
Teen Angels in the Outfield.
That is correct. The show,
Yeah.
the much maligned Teen Angel, which is a show.
It was the hamburger. I was like, that's so stupid. I remember that. And I was like, oh, it's Teen Angel.
Yeah,
That's
Ken had
right.
the Teen Angel, and then I followed up with the Outfield.
Yeah.
That was definitely
If I had Teen Angel, I would have gotten Angels in the Outfield. but-
Yeah, I didn't even think about Teen Angel. I
forgot that was a show.
remember that one being in TGIF. I always block that one out because it's not one of the better ones.
All right, so after the swing round, our scores are Ken and Jason with a perfect 130, and Neil and Jeff with a slightly less perfect 115. So let's go into the second round and see how things turn out. All right. The order of succession, should something happen to the President of the United States, goes 1, Vice President, etc. Who is 4th in this line of succession? And that's with Vice President being 1.
Just to talk it out, what's President pro tempore?
The Leader of the Senate.
Oh, okay. Well, then after that would it be the Leader of the House?
Speaker of the House,
Speaker of the House?
is the Leader of the House.
Or is it Speaker of the House before?
So I'm pretty sure it goes President, Vice President, Speaker of the House, President pro tempore.
We need the 4th one, though, right?
That is the 4th one. Oh, 4th after?
Yeah, he said Vice President's 1. We need 4.
So the order of succession with Vice President being 1.
No, kidding.
All right. So you guys locked in?
Yeah.
What are you guys going with?
Secretary of State.
Okay.
We also went with Secretary of State.
All right. So number 2 is Speaker of the House of Representatives. 3 is President pro tempore of the Senate, and 4 is Secretary of State. So Secretary of State is 4th. The reason the Speaker of the House and the President pro tempore are above that is because they're not appointed by the President. They want to make sure that the President isn't able to pick his successor, and that's why the Secretary of State ends up being 4th in line behind the Speaker of the House and President pro tempore.
And then after that, it goes basically through the entire cabinet. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, all the way down to, I think,
Secretary
All
of...
the way
It'll
down
be
to Kiefer Sutherland.
So it'll be... it'll be all the way down to the most recent position. Well, he's not... He's in like education or whatever, but I don't think education is the last. I think it's the most recent cabinet position, which might be education. But I mean, it's after... Do you have the full list of
I don't
succession?
have the full list,
Okay,
no.
I was just curious because I think after Secretary of State, it's either Attorney General or Secretary of Defense.
I believe Attorney General's 5th.
Yeah.
He was a boy, she was a girl. Could I make it any more obvious that this song was a top 10 hit for Avril Lavigne in 2002? Yes, spelling counts.
So stupid. My favorite part is the first line. She was a boy, or she was a girl. He was a boy. Can I make it any more obvious? But really, she hasn't said anything.
She has not said anything, no. And it was "What more can I say?" was pretty much
quite a lot.
Quite a lot,
Although
actually.
using the gender-specific pronouns does imply you can't make it any more obvious.
Right, correct.
Okay.
I mean, the spelling is what's... I think this seems more right.
That's fine. I know this is right.
I just don't think Avril Lavigne would go boy like that
Yeah, but-
spelling. Yeah, let's just go with this spelling
good, yeah.
and then the regular version
If
of that.
Avril Lavigne and Chad Kroger can't make it in this world, who can?
All right, you guys locked in with something?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Ken and Jason, you were in first. What do you say?
Okay, so that's Skater Boy. So SK8 TERBOI.
Okay.
That is not,
Hold on.
that is
That's not what we had.
officially have down.
No T.
No
T.
T.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
SK8ERBOI.
Okay.
Thank you.
What do you
All
guys
right.
at?
So I think officially we went SK8TERBOY.
Okay. So it is SK8ERBOI.
See, I don't know.
I knew about the I.
Thanks for the save there, Jason.
My karaoke background is paying off in spades today.
So, in 2009, this film became the second animated film ever nominated for Best Picture.
I'm just trying to think of a non-CG animated...
You guys are locked in, right?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of a non-CG
So I was
animated-
thinking earlier because like Cars was 2006. I think Ratatouille was like 07.
Right, yeah.
I
That's
mean,
one
if we're,
of the
if we're
nominated.
definitely thinking it's a Pixar, so I'm pretty sure it's Wall-E was 08. I want to say it's Up in 09.
Yeah, I'm trying to think right now, going back to the Oscars in 09. I just don't think there was a cell animated feature then, unless it was a foreign film. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with going with Up, I guess. Yeah, Up's fine. I wish I was a little more sure about it, but
Yeah, I'm in the same position. I think we're gonna go Up.
Okay. You guys are going with Up?
yeah.
Also up.
All right, the correct answer is Up. Beauty and the Beast was first in 1991, and Toy Story 3 was third in 2010, so the year after Up.
Hayao Miyazaki just getting burned all the way through.
I'm just surprised it wasn't The Land Before Time 7.
Yeah. All right, so question 4. What early 2000s sport had teams such as the Slashers, Diablos, and Bouncers?
Than that.
Yeah, we're good with that.
Okay.
You guys locked in?
Yeah.
We're locked in. Jeff's just writing it down.
All right.
I will say this is the most uncertain I have been on question so far. So this
That's
But knowing Matt,
that's unsettling.
Knowing
streak
Matt,
might
this is
end
correct.
here, but we'll see.
Oh, wait a minute.
You guys are locked in, though, right?
Do you have another thought?
I do, yeah. They're in, right?
Yeah.
I think we should go with that, but right now in the back of my head, the league where they play basketball but they bounce on trampolines.
Oh.
Do you remember what that's called? I was watching a hype video of that, and I, for some reason, remember seeing the Diablos.
I think by definition they're all hyped videos.
Yeah, that's true. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of this right now. I just watched it work.
Spike did it, right? It was like a trampoline basketball league.
Yeah. It was not airball or bounce.
I don't remember.
Shoot, if that's what the answer is, I'm gonna be so
I
angry.
doubt it, but I think the other one. That
I think
we've
we're
already
okay with
written down is
that. But
fine.
seriously, when I just read Diablos again, I was like, wait a minute, I watched that video and this guy was like, I'm gonna go pro, and it was depressing because he's never gonna go pro after that league.
Going pro in trampoline basketball.
All right, I'm gonna be angry if it is, but that was my second gut answer. But let's just go with that.
All right,
We're good.
What'd you guys lock in with?
XFL.
Okay.
Yeah, we went with XFL also.
All right. So the league was the Trampoline Basketball League. Slam Ball.
Slam Ball.
Slam Ball.
Wasn't the Diablos also the name of the team that Brendan Fraser played for in Bedazzled?
That is also true.
That is an oddly specific fact.
We always gave 110%.
That scene in Bedazzled just kills me, though.
Elizabeth Hurley.
That's like a great bad movie.
Slam Ball.
I am so angry.
The only other thought I had on this was possibly the Lingerie Football League. I couldn't think of anything.
So that was
outside.
our first miss.
We could have gained
So
all
they
of that one. I'm sorry.
They are mortal.
Come in
okay.
here and give 110%. You want to do good, and you try to do good, and I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, give it 110%. That's
This is why I can't be relied on for sports questions all the time.
I was never going to come up with Slam Ball.
Slam Ball also featured heavily in One Tree Hill. If anyone's a One Tree Hill fan,
my God, Matt.
I know. You know who would have gotten that question is your girlfriend for sure, because she loves Slam Ball.
She had it in the background one day, and I said, "Did I hear correctly that he has a full spine transplant?" She goes, "Yes."
I have a player
Spoiler alert.
on one of my trivia teams every week that every week yells at me for not having a One Tree Hill question. So a couple months ago, I wrote a One Tree Hill question specifically for her. She was at home with the flu.
I would have been better if she got it wrong, but
All right, question 5. Because of a nursery rhyme taught to children here, the United States is the one exception in the world when it comes to this.
Mother Goose.
that was the first one that came to mind.
Neil is now going to go through every single nursery rhyme he knows.
I'm just really angry about Slam Ball because I didn't know the name.
I will say this, if this is not the answer he has in mind, this is the hill on which I will die.
That's fair.
I'm ready to fight, so.
I can't think of any nursery rhymes.
No, my mind is a
I'm a real
tabula
Napoleon,
rasa
so.
at the moment.
Tabula rasa, one of my favorite phrases. Blank slate. Enlightenment period. Very nice.
I'm pretty sure it's Ring Around the Rosie. There's something to Ring Around the Rosie, but I can't put my finger on it.
All right, well, you go for it then. I'm going to tap out. Whatever you think, I trust. I'm still upset. So
The United States is the only one?
The United States is the one exception in the world when it comes to this.
Oh. I think we're the only ones who all fall down. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm going to go with.
Now that you say that.
Yeah. They all fall around, or they all fall something, like they all fall
I'm
out
good
or
with that. I'm
something.
good with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are you saying?
So I'm saying that we're the only ones that all fall down.
Okay, and then what did you guys have?
We have, and this is credited to Jason solely, the difference between Z and Z.
So the answer is pronouncing the letter Z as Z and not Z.
Good job, Jason.
The alphabet.
Esoteric knowledge for the win.
So the alphabet song was copyrighted in 1835, rhyming Z with me. And since that's how we teach our kids the alphabet, it became a thing where they pronounce it Z pretty much everywhere else in the world. All right. So question 6. This artist made his long-awaited controversial return to the stage at Coachella 2012.
We're in, so you can feel free.
Oh, yeah. That sounds good. I'm good with that.
All right. Ken and Jason?
We're going to go with hologram Tupac.
Okay.
Tupac.
All eyes on me.
Yep. All eyes on Tupac. It was Tupac Shakur.
All eyes on hologram Tupac.
So it was a hologram brought on stage during Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg's headlining set. If everyone remembers the memes that came out afterwards, they were pretty amazing.
I tried to see Snoop Dogg's headlining set at
At Riot Fest?
but he didn't show.
He did not
So I
show.
walked over to Tenacious D, and I enjoyed that instead.
Yeah.
I saw Snoop Dogg open for 311. It was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. Everyone on the stage, he called his cousin. It was great.
Yeah, missing Snoop Dogg's still not as bad as going to Ja Rule's Island Paradise. So you guys turned out okay.
DMX was supposed to play here
He did
in
not
our
show
area
up.
locally
Yeah.
about 2 weeks ago. And the news reports just came out either yesterday or today that he's checked himself into a rehab facility.
Huh.
What? Sorry.
So I apologize to the citizens of Lisle, Illinois, who missed out on his performance.
Huge fan base in Lisle, Illinois.
X was going to give it to you.
Yeah. Yep. X did not give it to anyone that night, unfortunately.
Stop.
So.
Drop.
X was not given to anyone, but someone took X, I'm sure.
I was to say it's been given to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's in rehab. Next question. In 1803, the Maid of Orleans was declared a national symbol by Napoleon Bonaparte for her role during the 100-Year War.
Is that a question?
Who is the Maid of Orleans?
There it is.
There's a question there.
She was made of what?
All right. Let me read this in question form. instead of statement form.
Oh, you can have a statement with a follow-up question. It's fine.
So in 1803, this Maid of Orleans was declared a national symbol by Napoleon Bonaparte for her role during the 100 Years' War.
Is it a female, you think, or is it a ship? I don't know why I said that. Sorry. 18, this maid, is there a famous maid that you can think of? Like French maid because it's New Orleans, or...
Nice.
I believe it's pronounced Nice.
Nice. Maybe beignet, and we celebrate her by eating nice donut-like concoctions. Yeah, whatever you want to put down, I'm fine with.
Joan of Arc is too late, right?
Was it 1803?
I mean, it wouldn't have been like Marie Antoinette, obviously, because
No.
that's all about tackling the...
I mean, yeah, I don't think Joan of Arc would have helped them during the 100 Years' War. Maybe. I don't know. This maid, though, so...
I have no idea.
I don't either.
That makes sense to me, though. I'll just go with it.
All I'm thinking of is Yvette from Clue, the maid, so I can't be of any help here.
That's probably right. You should.
All right, so I think we're going to go with Joan of Arc.
Okay, and what'd you guys go with?
Joan of Arc.
The answer is Joan of Arc, and I don't know.
Guys,
I
wow.
have no idea how you pulled that out at the last second.
I told you that I'm not going to go into it again, but
Yeah.
I think they landed on name a French chick.
yeah, that's basically what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, one who I was thinking was a maiden. And
Yeah.
that was basically where I stopped, and it was the only one I could come up with.
It was earlier, but it was in 1803 is when it was declared a national symbol by Napoleon
Right.
Bonaparte, so that's why it seemed like that was later. So question number 7, or 8 even.
We were on fire for that question.
Question
someone
8.
put us out.
No, I'm reading question 8. We're moving on. Leave it to Canada to choose this animal to be its national animal.
You had a lot at stake in that question.
Oh, you are on fire with these.
Matt's trying to read questions, and we're hearing a lot of voices here, okay? Let's just... settle
All
down.
right.
Canada's national animal. What do you got?
Not to say it's definitely this one, but it's definitely this one.
Okay.
Are you guys locked in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So,
So what you're saying is we're not going with Justin Trudeau's chin line.
That's a strong guess.
that's a rather tamed beast.
That's fine. Just go with that one. I mean,
I mean, so it's actually on some of their currency. Like,
well, yeah, you're the banker.
The nickel would have that animal on there. I also think it's a bit obtuse, and Canada. So other Canadian symbols I'm thinking of, mostly mine, of course, goes to coinage. They have depictions of like falcons and wolves and moose, but I'm thinking it's the beaver. So I think we're gonna go beaver.
that's fine.
Okay. You guys going beaver?
Yeah.
We are also going beaver.
All right, the answer is beaver, and there was a clue in the question when I said leave it to Canada, so leave it to beaver, which you guys were talking over, so you probably didn't hear that part.
We're making Joan of Arc jokes. Sorry.
Which is much more important, I agree.
And Jeff, I can't believe you forgot to mention the noble loon on Canadian currency.
Well, on like the loony and the toonie.
Yeah.
Do those still exist? Are they still around?
They do.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, the only Canadian currency that's been removed from circulation in the last 6 years is the penny.
Which I wrote a phenomenal question about
And
last,
I'm
last session.
very pro the United States doing the same thing. So
I want to say I heard on a video recently that they're also either getting rid of or have gotten rid of their 5-cent piece.
I wouldn't be surprised. New Zealand has gotten rid of their 5-cent piece.
Maybe it was them.
I want to say some of the Scandinavian countries have gotten rid of their 1 and 5-cent pieces and moved to a 10-cent piece. Australia no longer has a penny as well, but I believe they still have a 5-cent piece. But the last time the U.S. got rid of a piece of currency, the half-cent was worth about 7 current cents, purchasing power parity. So we should get rid of at least the penny and the nickel.
You got to love that copper lobby.
It's the zinc lobby.
Is it? You're right.
It's
It
the
is
zinc
the
lobby.
zinc lobby.
It's
yeah.
Johnson Matthey Metals.
Thank you.
Is the only company that produces zinc, and they produce all of the zinc for U.S. pennies.
The more you know.
And
Gotta
a
love
random shout out
politics.
to John Green for the video upon which we are gathering all this information.
Actually, if you want to throw another one in there, CGP Grey does Huzzah, Death to Pennies.
Ah, that's right.
Which
I
is
saw that one as well.
Yeah, which is another great one. John Green also went on like a C-SPAN or MSNBC show and did like a 5-minute thing on why he thinks pennies need to go away, which is pretty great.
He did a Google Live hangout with Barack Obama, and that is the first thing he mentioned.
Question 9.
What did any of this have to do with Canada?
I don't know.
Oh, we were talking about the beaver being on currency.
Those beavers and dams and
On the
zinc and etc.
Those damn beavers.
Question 9. This 1994 movie is the lowest grossing SNL movie of all time and is one of the lowest grossing movies of all time, making only $60,000.
So 1994.
Correct.
Oh yeah. You're right. Jason's saving my. Not gonna lie.
My knowledge base on terrible SNL films is right up there with my knowledge base of not terrible SNL films.
There's maybe 2 of these that I knew that he didn't, but there's been like 4 or 5 of these that he knew.
Okay, so it's not. So
I was on the wrong track with it.
It wasn't. No, because '97 was when Night at the Roxbury around that time came out. Because I dressed up as Chris Kattan for that, and the guy asked to dress up with me, said he would. I made his costume, and then he bailed and didn't dress up on it with me. So it ruined my Halloween. I went to the dance alone, dressed as Chris Kattan. But I did do the head shake.
Yikes.
I'm trying to think of the cast. So it's the best cast, I think, of SNL of all time. So you had like Dana Carvey, you had Phil Hartman, Mike Myers, Adam Sandler, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock was only on for like 2 years, and it would have been earlier. It would have been late 80s.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I don't think it was a Dana Carvey movie.
No, Masters of Disguise was later, and it was also aberrant.
Yeah,
and abhorrent.
Dana Carvey, Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman do a movie?
I'm trying to think of 94. It's really killing me right now because I just did a podcast on movies of 1994, and I do not remember this one being on there.
Probably because it didn't make a lot of money.
Yeah, you're right.
And it was also probably
Some say
terrible.
it was one of the lowest grossing movies.
You said that.
Some say.
A few minutes ago.
That's where I heard that. That's right.
We're going to go Going Overboard.
Okay.
All right, I am really between 2 on this. I talked myself out of saying Stewart Saves the World, and we instead are going with It's Pat.
So the answer is It's Pat the movie.
I didn't even think about It's Pat. Yeah, that's right.
I forgot that was a movie.
Yeah,
that's because it would never be made today.
Yeah. I originally in that question had a clue that said there's nothing ambiguous about that at the end, which I thought would have been too. And I've been giving, you guys have been doing pretty well, so I was going to take away
The
some of those
ambiguously
hints.
gay duo?
Yeah.
No.
The movie?
The movie.
Steve
Ace
Carell.
and Gary, right?
Yeah. Steve Carell and, you know the other one?
Yeah.
So, Colbert.
But yeah, It's Pat only lasted in the theaters for 3 weeks before it was pulled.
I see your ladies, man, and raise you, Stewart Saves the World.
No, whoa,
Superstar is worse than Ladies Man.
By comparison,
That's the other one I wrote down.
By comparison, Ladies Man is like a great film.
Like, can I get a fact check on the fact that Stewart Saves the World is an actual movie and I didn't just make it up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Going Overboard was 1989.
Got it.
And I don't think that would have qualified as a SNL film.
Yeah, it would have been before. I feel bad about that. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
It's Pat. I saw that movie on VHS.
There's
when it came out.
Stewart Saves His Family.
That's what it was. Stewart Saves
And it's
His
a
Family.
95 comedy directed by Harold Ramis.
Wow.
So
Rest in peace.
Also directed by Harold Ramis. Bedazzled. Starring Brendan Fraser.
it made 912,000 and It's Pat only made 60,000. So
Wow. Stuart Smalley, 15 times more profitable than Pat.
So the final question of this round. First released in 1988, John Madden Football has been around longer than a lot of players currently depicted in the game. Who is the cover of the first edition?
So I'm just deferring to Jason on this one. Not my bag. Baby.
I feel like I need to defer to Neil because my interest in football came much later than that year.
That's another one where I have to disclose that I'm reasonably certain I have written this question.
I want to say this is almost like one of Jason's patented douchey trick questions.
I had a feeling about that being John Madden.
I think it's John Madden, but that's the only thing.
That's my gut.
Because he was on most of the original games that I used to play himself, and he'd be like pointing at you very angrily. Let's just go John Madden. I can't think of anything else.
I'm good with that. We'll go John Madden.
Okay.
Yeah, it is most definitely John Madden.
Yeah, the answer is John Madden.
Is that one of your douchey trick questions?
It is one of my douchey trick questions.
I didn't know that Jason would be playing this game when I was writing the douchey trick questions. All right. So after 20 questions, we have reached the end of regulation. Here are the scores before we go into the final round. Jeff and Neil have a whopping 175, which is usually, enough to be in first. But Jason and Ken going into the final round have 220 points.
They missed one question.
Yeah. Almost a perfect game.
Slam ball will haunt my nightmares.
There'll be a slam ball question at some point in the
Oh,
next
you know
few
it.
weeks.
My next game is going to be only slam ball questions.
So I will announce the final 5 categories, and each player can wager between 0 and 30 points on each question using only the points that they have earned during regulation. So here are the categories, and you guys are going to love these. Category 1, politics and sports. Category 2, movies and sports. Category 3, video games and sports. Category 4, pro wrestling and sports. And category 5 is history and sports.
Very interesting.
All right, so the final wagers are locked in. I'll reveal those as we give our answers. So I'm going to read the 5 questions, and then you guys will write down your answers. And once we're all locked in for all 5, we'll read them out and give the scores. All right, so question for politics and sports. This former New York Knick served as a senator in New Jersey and once unsuccessfully ran for president in the year 2000. Movies and sports. This former Los Angeles Laker studied under Bruce Lee and had a part in the 1978 film The Game of Death.
You got it.
All right.
Confident on it? No, so I'm glad you are.
Video games and sports. This 1990s fighting game begins with an American basketball player on his way to a charity game in Tokyo and is sent to another dimension, the second world, where he must rescue a young boy named Nezu from the evil mummy Setra.
What year was that?
1990s fighting game.
Oh, okay.
All right. Pro wrestling and sports. At WCW Bash at the Beach 1998, Hollywood Hogan teamed up with this eccentric NBA superstar against Diamond Dallas Page and this NBA player. Surprisingly, he did deliver on this Sunday. And then history and sports. Game 5 of the 1994 NBA Finals were famously interrupted for what event?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That does make sense.
100%.
You feel good about
Yes.
this?
I'm 100% sure about that.
Okay.
All right, we're all good.
You guys are all in?
All right, we're good.
All right. So for politics and sports, Neil and Jeff, you bet 10 on this. What did you have?
We went with Bill Bradley.
Okay.
We went with the distinguished gentleman, Bill Bradley, as well.
Bill Bradley is correct. So 20 points for Ken and Jason, 10 for Neil and Jeff. Question 2, Neil and Jeff, what did you have?
So we went with the artist formerly known as Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, and you guys both bet 30, and that is both correct.
See Game of Death, Neil?
Yeah, I have it, yeah.
All right, for video games and sports, Jason and Ken, what did you have?
We went with the Shaq Fu.
Okay.
Shaquille O'Neal.
And Shaq Fu.
And Shaq Fu, and that is correct. So 20 for Neil and Jeff, and 30 for Ken and Jason. All right, for pro wrestling, Neil, Jeff?
We went with Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone.
Okay.
Same.
And that is correct. 30 for Neil and Jeff, 20 for Jason and Ken. And the last question, what did you guys have?
So it was interrupted by the OJ freeway chase.
Mm-hmm.
It was, thanks to the People versus O.J. Simpson on Netflix for knowing that one.
All right, so that's both correct. So 20. So both went 5 for 5 for the final round.
Slam ball, man.
Yeah, we should have bet aggressively.
I know.
The albatross around our necks.
So I'm going to do some quick math here. All right, so our final tally today is Jeff and Neil with a whopping 285, which would be our highest score overall, except that Jason and Ken with 340. So you today are our cream of the crop, and probably our cream of the crop over. I don't think anything's touching that one, so.
Yeah, unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
I do have a question. If we would have bet 30 on every question, we still wouldn't have beat them if the answers were the same, right?
30 times 5, 150.
No, we only left 30 points off the table.
All right, so I need to get back in the lab and write some harder questions for next time, obviously. Thank you to both the teams for coming today. It was a really spirited game. We don't have, it's not too often that teams just get one wrong, so it's very impressive work there. Jason, why don't you tell us where you guys are doing some of these trivia nights?
Sure. We're all in the Chicagoland area. Every Monday we are at a wonderful location called Brixie's in Brookfield. Every Tuesday night we are at a location we just started called Winchester Brewing Company, which is in Willow Springs, Illinois. Every Wednesday you can find us at 2 different places, Mike and Denise's Bar and Grill in Yorkville every Wednesday, along with Katie O'Connor's in Plainfield, Illinois. Every Thursday, you can catch us at Spot on 66 in Countryside. And on the first and third Thursday of every month, you can see me at Cigars and Stripes, which is in Berwyn.
All right. Thanks, Jason. All right, and thanks, everybody, for listening. If you'd like to play along with our contestants, make sure to check out our Facebook page and download our official Triviality score sheet and let us know that you got 100% without cheating. So I'm sure someone out there probably did. If you'd like to get in touch with any of us, find us on Twitter using the handle @TrivialityPod or on Facebook at facebook.com/TrivialityPod. If you'd like to get in touch with us by email, send us all messages to trivialitypodcast@gmail.com. If it's a question 5 submission, make sure you put question 5 in the subject line. We'd love to hear from you. So, of course, other than spreading the word, the best way you can support the show is rating, reviewing, and subscribing to Triviality on your favorite podcast app. Until next game, on behalf of all of us here, my name is Matt, and that was Triviality.
What's the extreme sport that combines trampoline and basketball? Slam ball! Slam ball! Slam ball! Saturdays and Sundays at noon starting today on Cartoon Network!